What it do, one and all? We want to give a shout out to everybody here in Redskins land. You are tuning into HTTR Behind Enemy Lines with your boy Yemi. Today we want to talk about the NFL draft. We want to give a brief recap of what our beloved Washington Redskins did in the draft. Also, I will be joined on a few minutes later or a little while later by our boy Sanchez. You also know him as On the Warpath. Hopefully, we'll get a few people in this chat room and we will get this party started. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and let my boy Sanchez know that I am now officially on, and we're going to get this thing started right fast. So I hear a whole lot of people are happy with the NFL draft this week, happy with what our Washington Redskins have done. I am very excited with what we've been doing. I'm really excited with Rod Rivera, with Kyle Smith, and with all the rest of the scouting staff from the Washington Redskins. I want you guys to also understand that it's not going to come out what you think it's going to be. You know, we are not professionals, we are fans. And so a lot of us have opinions on players and we don't have all the information. And so without having all the information, we really don't know what's going on in the minds of our head coaches. And so I would tell you, and I would tell everybody that's involved or everybody that's a fan, trust the process. It's all a process. This is a game, and it goes in cycles. It doesn't all happen all at once. If you're looking for quick solutions, you're fans of the wrong sport. Things don't happen right away in this sport. It takes time and it takes dedication and people who have the wherewithal to basically look at things, evaluate, and bring things to the board. We have made some bad picks in the past, but every team makes some bad picks. So I just tell you, guys, to be patient with what's going on. Understand, once again, that we ain't gonna get everybody that you want every draft. I mean, I'm a big Isaiah Simmons fan, and if I tell you I have argued until I'm blue in the face to why the Redskins should have taken Isaiah Simmons with that draft pick, but I also know that it didn't come my way. We took Chase Young, and as a fan, I'm behind whatever we do, and I'm locked in on it. Like I told y'all before, I really didn't have anything bad to say per se about Chase Young. My only concern with Chase Young, and it's one of these things that I can say now, is his inability to use all of his moves when needed. He's dependent on that swipe or that scissor move, where you just clip and knock the hands down, and you have to set up a tackle to be in that position to get you into that move. If like I tell a lot of people, if defensive tackle keeps his hands low and into his body and gives you his chest, he's not the one you want to use a scissor move on. He is the guy that you need to get ready to prepare to bull rush and put your hands into his chest and swivel those hips. What's going on the warpath?
What up?
Swivel them hips and push that joker all the way back into the quarterback. That was my only thing I did not like about Chase Young. is that he didn't use. He's got all the athletic ability that you could ever ask for, and in that sense, yes, comparing him to the Bolsas, I'm comparing him to some of the guys that have come out in the last few years as an edge. He has those intangibles as far as athletic qualities that you look for. He has the quick twitch. He has the ability to bend. He has the ability to set up moves. But the problem is he sets up moves and doesn't use the proper counters for his moves, which to me, looking at it from somebody who watches a lot of film, that's a down. That's you have to be taught. And I'm glad that Bruce Smith didn't reach out. Let me get this. Let me get this out here, and then we're gonna go and start talking about the more in depth into the draft. Bruce Smith did not make that comment if he saw a polished player. What Bruce Smith saw was a guy with a bunch of upside, a bunch of talent, and he decided, hey, let me go ahead and ask Mr. Snyder if I can work with this kid so that now he won't be behind the eight ball. Because listen, everybody's gunning for him. I don't want you to get this twisted. Everybody in the NFC or whoever we play, they're going to test Chase Young until he proves that he can handle himself. I'm going to give you an example. And I know a lot of you guys are younger, but when Bosworth came into the league, and the Seattle Seahawks drafted him out of out of Oklahoma. They tested this dude. You know, first teams acted like they were afraid of him, but then when they ran up against the Oakland Raiders and Bo Jackson, they ran right at this cat and exposed him for what he really was. And so he ended up retiring a couple of years later, maybe a year or so later. And I don't want that to happen to Chase. So I'm glad that I'm glad that Bruce Smith said, "Look, I'm going to take this kid under my wing. I'm going to show him some things so that he can be more developed as he goes into training camp, as he goes into the season. Because you ain't gonna push around these pros like you push around these college kids. I don't care what you think. I don't care what kind of take your time. I don't care what kind of generational talent you are. Don't forget, all those guys worked hard to get where they're at. You ain't got a bunch of slouches sitting on the couch. You know, you were talking about maybe the top out of all the people that play in college every year. You're talking about probably the top 3-4% of players making it into the NFL. So you're not dealing with slouches. Damn, that hurt. You're not dealing with slouches. You're dealing with people who know the game, who have talent, and who are good at what they do. So I don't want you to think that he's gonna walk into this game and just start manhandling tackles. It don't happen that way. And trust me, in the NFL, these guys spend their money on tackles. You see what I'm saying? They spend their money on tackles. So these guys have to be able to play. And I don't think Chase Young is going to go in there. The ultimate battle would have been if we would have kept Trent, and just to see Trent toss his ass around during practice to make him better. We don't have anybody that's going to test him like that. But I want y'all to understand this before we go any further. Okay, on the Warpath, I want to thank you, man, for joining me. I reached out to him about 15 minutes ago, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll come on with you. I really appreciate it. I know you got all your stuff from the draft, and I want to talk to you. We're gonna go round for round. We just covered what's up, natural. Hell to them Redskins. Um, let's go round for round real quick.
All
So
right.
I just finished clamoring and talking about Chase Young. What did you What do you see about him? I'm not all the pros because we as Redskins fans got this bad habit of looking at pros on top of pros, and then when you mention a con, then you're a Redskin hater. So let me know about some of these cons that you might see in his game.
Well, at the pro level, you got to beat the double team. He struggled with that double, triple teams. He's unpolished, and I always tell people this. I like the guy. I love the guy, and I think he's going to be what he's sold to be. But that's potential, and potential is a key word. You got to use the other word. Now you got to stay on your P's and Q's. You got to stay on your P's and your D's. Potential development. You have to transition. I don't expect him to have double-digit sacks this year. Now you do have some. You have some of our friends that are either smoking crack or praying a little too hard. I mean, honestly, right? They didn't shot up a line, and they like he gonna have 15 sacks. There's no way on God's green earth that he's gonna have 15 sacks this year. That's insane to think that he would have 15 sacks. I don't know what it took like JJ Watt like 3 years to amass that. Man, if you said 8, 9, okay, that's good. But if the team takes a turn for where they're like in the top 15 to 10 in defense, and it is because of him, then I would say that's going to be well worth the pick. But right now you see a lot of potential. You see a guy who's going to he's going to break through. The good thing is, though, the NFC East is going through a left tackle change. Jason Peters is no longer in Philadelphia. Andrew Thomas has just been drafted to take over for in the Giants organization, which Giants have had a weak offensive line. Dallas, they'll probably still be the same mixed bag of tricks with Tyson Smith. Yep. So you still have that there. So and you talk about, you said something about Trent Williams and, passing around. I mean, unless Trent learned how to pass around blunts in his last year off, I don't think it would have been that much of a competition. Because what has Trent has he been working out? So would that really be a challenge to him as playing against a Sadiq Charles? We don't know, because Sadiq technically is probably going to be a little bit more polished in like physically than Trent Williams, just because he's had more recent playing experience. Trent's been out since week 17 of the 2018 season. So that how many months is that? That's going to be about 15 months before he plays. And if the season is delayed, that's going to be even longer. But Chase Young, what you say? I have faith in him. I have hope. That's the great denominator. He's got potential. I tell people this all the time. I don't want the hangover effect. What's the hangover effect? It's like, it's the movie, The Hangover. I had a whole bunch of friends tell me this movie is so great. And then I tasted it. I watched it for the first time. And because people had put my hopes up so high, the movie wasn't as good as it was advertised.
Facts.
Yeah. It really was. So, pump the brakes. He'll be all right. I think he's going to be all right. One thing I was concerned about this. I wasn't concerned with the second pick. I was concerned with the 8th overall pick, because I thought you were. I really did I thought you were going to buy some Arizona Cardinal gear just because you bought.
I was sick. Hey, and you know what made me so mad, man? Matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to Big Simple 422. I want to give a shout out to Natural. I want to give a shout out to my boy one and only Skins fan all day. I want to give a shout out. Y'all are welcome to come and join us on this panel. We're gonna make this thing work. If you want to come in, you know what to do. Click the bar, go all the way up to the top of the chat, and click that bar and come on in. We'll invite you in so you can share your knowledge. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put one down here in the chat right now.
Skins might be mad at me now. And I said he was smoking crack.
Well, he'll get over it. Trust me. He ain't got no choice but to get over it.
You
Now,
know
now
he my boy.
I want to thank everybody for liking and for sharing and putting this broadcast out. My goal is to build up to 1,000 members by the end of the season. By the end of the season. So I got a little work to do. I think I'm at 18. So
We gonna get you there.
we're gonna do what we got to do. We're gonna get this out there. Once again, Skins fan all day, Big Simple, Natural. I want to thank all of y'all for joining, coming in, and being a part of this broadcast in whichever way you possibly can. Now, let's don't talk about the number 8 pick because I still, I still think we got a way we could. Let's just not talk about it. Now, let's talk about our number 66 pick in the draft. I'm excited about that pick.
Thank you.
A lot of people, man, can't see the forest for the trees.
Yes.
But I am excited. Antoine Gibson is a miraculous ball player.
Yes.
He is the Isaiah Simmons on offense.
Yep.
And
I said the same thing. I was saying the same. Yes, my man.
Is exactly what you would get from Isaiah Simmons if he was an offensive player.
Well,
he has very, very, very good feet. I watched him run. Now, a lot of people we got him slated down as a running back, but and the reason why I feel like we got him in that position is because he does not run the whole route tree.
Mm-hmm.
But he does run good enough routes to get open. He's fast enough running a 4.39. He's 6 foot, 228 pounds. So he's got some meat on him. He's really built low, which I look at when I deal with running backs. When I coached football, I didn't give a dang how the dude's upper body looked, and I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound freaky or nothing, but when I look at a running back, I always look from his belly button down. If he's got thick thighs, thick calves, and it's got that low, I won't say low center of gravity, but he's hard to hit low and he can push you off of a tackle. That's what I look for. And he has that framework in his size, which is to me is amazing. Now, would I try to use him? He's automatically going to be our punt returner and our kick returner. We might as well just don't even worry about anything else. That's what his primary function is going to be. He's also what I would call, everybody calls him a Swiss Army knife. He can get in there, but I think if they refine his route running, he could be a possible 3 for us. He could definitely be that slot receiver. And I know a lot of people love Steven Sims. I like him too. Matter of fact, I love Steve Sims. I think he's an outstanding player. But this joker right here, imagine that coming across the middle on a slant. Or imagine that one going in the middle on an option route and he get the ball in his hand. He has vision like a running back. He's got the frame of a running back. He is Deebo Samuels for us. And you got to get a player like that on the field. So I think to be honest with you, man, I think our running back room is crowded.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got Adrian Peterson, who's been the workhorse the last 2 years. Yes. You've got that. You got McKissick now. You've got Peyton Barber coming in. Yeah. Oh crap! Who else we got? We got that Ho. Oh, I mean, excuse me, Darius Geis. I'm sorry. The whole Darius Geis mean the same thing. Um,
Yes, I
and
got
shucks, and who else do we have on that?
the one and only Bryce Love.
But yeah, your boy Bryce Love. I forget about his injuries. See, and that's gonna be good for Bryce Love though, because people forgetting about him.
I'm
Like
gonna tell you,
you're true.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, man. Every pick that we've made in this draft, and people,
Mm-hmm.
even when we go down, okay, past the fourth round, when
Mm-hmm.
everybody was getting sick and looking all screw faced, when we were making picks,
Mm-hmm.
every pick that we made put a position group on notice.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I
And
mean,
yeah, they're versatile. Everything that they picked up it was versatile. What you got? We just talked about Gibson. You got the Keith. Oh God, Ishmael. He
yes,
can play all three interior spots. You got Khalil Hudson, who can play like 5 spots and can play special teams. You got crap. Cameron Curl, who can do
yes.
a little bit of everything, and then you have Smith Williams, who can do like that's what people like. People look at it literally and are like, why did we draft this? Well, you didn't just draft one position; you drafted
Two
two
or three.
positions, three. So you got somebody that versatility is the key right here. You've got versatile, and it's the theme, like you said with Isaiah Simmons. He could play different spots rather than Chase Young, which even brings up a more interesting point. People weren't hyped to Isaiah Simmons, but a lot of people, the most polarizing pick on here is Gibson.
I
Why? I
know,
don't
right?
know. There was one cat who I was in one of these groups on Facebook, um, and he said that was the dumbest pick. They don't know what they're doing. Um, I'm like, what? It just didn't make sense. What is it? Frustrated fans. He's on YouTube. You can go find him. And I mean, it was while I respect the opinion, I thought it was the dumbest thing and probably the most reckless thing you could say. Because we
Man,
don't know. Like, you don't know. And they said one thing he said, and I went back and looked, because one thing I do, people just listen to stuff and they take it as fact. I go back and check. So I went back and I looked at Gibson. He talked about the game against Penn State. Oh, he didn't do anything. You know, he had over 100 all-purpose yards. He had
hard.
99 receivers. So, like, what do you mean he didn't do anything? Did he? Okay, he might not have gotten to the end zone, but he was putting his team in the spots. He's like, oh, he wasn't even the third option. Like, this is crazy.
What people don't understand is football is a battle of inches.
Yep.
It's a battle of inches. And when you can get somebody that can give you feet, you take them.
Yep.
And Gibson has the ability. First of all, he's explosive as hell. Let's just put it out there.
Yep.
All of his receptions, he averaged about 20. He averaged about 19 yards per catch,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't. All of his passes weren't downfield. He broke tackles. This man is a human highlight film. I
Yep.
went back to look at game film for him. I'm gonna tell you how bad this was. So that night of the draft, I went back and I looked. Everybody calling me. I looked for game film on this cat. And every time he touched the ball, it looked like a highlight.
Yeah.
And so I may as well have just watched the highlights on this cat. Every play when he got the ball in his hand, he was explosive. And he did not go down on the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
This brother sheds tackles like we shed water out of the shower. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm not, look, I'm going to be honest with you. He's not my favorite player in the draft, but if I had an option, for an A minus, it would damn
Mm-hmm.
sure be him. Because
Oh
if he
yeah.
was at a bigger school, excuse- if he was at a bigger school and a bigger program, he would have definitely been a first round pick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you talk about that. I actually have my I have my notebook here. What I wrote down about him. 7 plays of 40 plus yards. 7 touchdowns of 40 plus yards.
Come on now.
What I mean that, but that's not worth anything. Um, 19.3 per reception. That's not worth anything, right? 11.2 yards per rush. But that's not worth anything. That it's a wasted pick, Yemi. And you and I don't know what we're talking about. But the numbers don't lie. But we don't know what we're talking about.
Numbers don't lie, and I'm gonna tell you the good thing I see about this kid is
Mm-hmm.
that he's coming into this game. Okay, what I have noticed too about Ron Rivera is that he's getting people that can play multiple positions, but the majority of our team has a DMV component to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's different. I mean, he was raised in Atlanta, but his mother
Yeah.
is from Washington D.C.
Grandma buried in a Redskins
Redskins
jersey.
jersey. Dude, I mean, what more? This guy is playing not only for himself, but he's playing for his family,
Mm-hmm.
and it's different. It's a different look. You know,
Yeah.
it's a different feel. And we've got a majority of our players who are what we would call on the cusp players have that Washington D.C. component, have that D.C., Virginia, Maryland, Delaware component to themselves. That's going to make our team more of a. When you say we got the home field advantage, we
Oh
really
yeah.
do have the home field advantage now.
Yeah, and I'll double down on you. What's one of the first things Ron Rivera said? He's like, we need to get fans back in at FedEx Field. He
Dang
said
right.
it's a joint effort. And what has he done? Well, this is the Maryland, Virginia, DC area. Maybe we should get more players like that. So we go out and get a Ronald Darby, a Sean Davis. We go ahead and get 3 kids that have Virginia ties. Gandy Golden from Lynchburg. You got
Mhm.
Chase Young. You've got who we just said, Gibson, who's got the ties to Maryland. You already got John Allen on there. And so that I mean it's a whole lot. And you've got Dwayne Haskins,
Yes.
who's the quarterback from Maryland. And I mean, I love it, dude. I really do. He is sticking. People don't think he's sticking to the plan, but he is. It's just not the plan that you thought it was going to be.
Because you know what, I'm gonna say this, and I hate to be vulgar with this, but
Go ahead.
we sack chasing, and you know we got a bunch of these fans that if there's not a big name connected to it, we don't want it. And
Mm-hmm.
the problem is we are building a team. To be honest with you, what the Redskins looks like to me is one of those teams that are like a couple of years after they just started. One of like how Carolina looked after
Mm-hmm.
they became a franchise, how Jacksonville looked. They had a bunch of older players on there, but we don't even have old cats no more. We're
Nope.
young, we're
Yeah.
fast, and each player is really playing for their lives because Ron is not. Man, I'm telling you, if I was Trey Quinn, I would come to practice each day with my bags packed and play like it's
Right.
my last day there. If I was Cam Sims, I would come to practice each day with,
Mm-hmm.
with my bags sitting on the sideline so I can look at them. So I know if I don't perform today, I can grab that thing and go to the house because that's where Rod's going to send them.
Yep.
Ain't nobody safe. And that look, man, nobody is safe on our team, not even AP. And
Mm-mm.
because, man, have you seen five receivers? I mean, five running backs in a running back room? We got six.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's telling somebody, look, you're gonna be the odd man out.
It's gonna be feelings hurt. I mean, this is the one thing because the Redskins fan base is so sensitive to change. Like, and this is what I don't get: 13-3, three back-to-back losing seasons, and minimal change at most throughout that time. Maybe a quarterback change, and that was about it. And people are like, well, we got Adrian. We can't lose Adrian Peterson. We can't lose this. We can't lose that. I'm gonna tell you right now. Sit down, buckle up, because there are gonna be players that you love that won't be playing in the fall. That's
Hey,
just all it is to it.
hey, baby, check this out. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
doubt if Kendall Fuller don't get his number back. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh, I totally agree. That's why I made the reference to him earlier, because how can you be a cat that's so revered, but most you're revered for is what's going on social media and not on the field?
I'm telling you, that cat gonna be out of here, man.
He will be.
Ain't no doubt in my mind that if things go down the way that I'm looking at it, and
Mm-hmm.
from a skill standpoint, just on skills. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm a Louisiana boy. I was raised in Louisiana. From DC, raised in Louisiana. I love Darius Geis,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna be honest with you. Can he do what Bryce Love can do?
I don't think so.
Can he do what Sean Barber,
Yeah, with Peyton Barber, no, I don't
Peyton
think.
Barber can do?
Yeah,
Can he do
man,
what
that's an
AP
old
can
name.
do?
I like that name, Sean Barber. Oh God, that was one of my favorite players when I was younger.
Can he do what Peyton Barber can do? No.
Nope.
And Peyton Barber is consistent, has been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian Peterson, consistent. You know what you're gonna get with him. Um, let's be honest with you. Bryce Love was hurt last season, but it was no fault of his own. He got hurt
Mm-hmm.
the last game of his college career. We picked him
Right.
up. He's been rehabbing. But that boy right there, to me, is the diamond in the rough. He is the diamond in our backfield. And then you bring Gibson along, somebody ain't gonna make it.
Nope.
I mean, we gonna have to cut some fat meat somewhere. And let's just be honest with you. I honestly think look at the wide receiver. I mean, look at the wide receiver room. He put them on notice.
Oh yeah,
Look, man, I'm
absolutely.
not only am I gonna get AGG out here, but then I'm gonna pick up some other wide receivers in free agency because I feel like they can push you.
All right.
Hey, let's not even Dwayne. Look, I love you. I think you got talent. I think you're gonna
There
be
you
great.
go.
But I'm gonna bring my boy Kyle over here
Mm-hmm.
with me, and then I'm gonna go and pick up this boy from Colorado. He might be a camp arm, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No.
Hey, look, Sheriff. I know you want to hold out for this money, and I know you signed this franchise tag, but I don't want you to think for a second
Mm-hmm.
that this boy right here, Ishmael, can't move over the right tackle. I mean the right
Mm-hmm.
guard and play this position. I don't want you to think that none of these pickups that we made in free agency can't play your spot because they can. Even if I got to kick Morgan Moses in and let him play on the inside, I'm still running with that one, man, because
Yeah.
I think he'd be a much better guard than he is a tackle.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking at even, and this is another one that's tripping me out. Even in our secondary, look, Sean Davis to me is going to be probably the diamond on our defense.
Right.
And I tell you this now. You said something about what's old boy from Arkansas?
Curl.
Cam, yeah, Cameron Curl.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Curl is a hitter.
Yep.
He's not a tackler.
Right.
He will put wood on you. He won't wrap up for it to save his
Mm-hmm.
damn life. I ain't never figured that out. Now, but this is competition. Hey, I want you to understand, Apke, that your ass ain't really needed. I can care less if you run a 4-3. I need somebody that's gonna put some heat on somebody.
Yep.
Hey, the Shazer, I know that you like that number 22, and I think it looked good on you, but you might have to give that to one of them running backs because you might not be here.
Right.
You know, I'm looking at people like what's that dude number 37?
Oh
Stu,
gosh.
Stu shoot.
Are you
Um
thinking a sense ball?
no, the plays corner for us. Um Number
Who is that?
37, Stuman, Stu.
Oh, you thinking of Strowman? That's who you thinking of. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, you,
yeah. Mm-mm.
Eddie, you might not be here next year. So I want you to understand that when y'all come to training camp, it ain't gonna be none of this running around here, dapping up, hugging one another. No, you're gonna have to hate these jokers in the room with you
Yep.
till we say training camp's over with and here's the final list. Because ain't nobody safe. And I failed to realize that Emmanuel Hall ain't even touched the field yet.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
When Emmanuel Hall comes in here, big body out of Missouri that we picked up last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is what they want. They want to create like in the biggest problem. What's been the biggest problem with the Redskins for like the last 3 years? People
Depth.
get hurt, right?
No depth.
No depth. You have created depth through competition. It's an interesting concept, but you've created the depth that you need. I don't think that you're gonna have people like, well, oh man, my toe hurts. I can't really. You better not be able to walk off that field. There ain't gonna be no more holding your hips and being like, because you got tackled, you got tussled up. You're going to have to go out there.
There ain't gonna be no more sitting on
You
that
have to be injured, not hurt. You're going to have to be injured. That's the key. It's no more. We're gonna sit down, relax. Oh, that's okay. We'll just run through this one walkthrough, and it's gonna be good. No, he gonna throw them pads on you. It's gonna be hot in August in Richmond.
And remember what he said. Remember what he said. He all along he was sitting up here telling us, I see this as a project. I see it as 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
before this turnaround. After that draft happened, that brother said right off the gun, I think we can move faster than what I think. What I said earlier.
Yeah, he said that. What he said that yesterday or Saturday,
Yesterday.
didn't he? Yeah, yesterday.
Big Simple, come on and click in, man. Come join us. Skins, come on and join us, bro. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be the biggest wake-up call in Redskins in the modern era of the Redskins. When we go onto this field, I honestly feel like we are going to have the best 55 men that we could possibly have on that field.
No doubt about it.
And we're going to have depth. If one joker falls off, you just pick him up, throw his ass over there on the cart, let him roll off, and the next man up. We haven't been able to play with that mentality of next man up. Not in the last 10, 15 years. The last time I can honestly say we had the next man up mentality was when Schottenheimer was here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But all them jokers was old as hell.
Yeah.
So we
that team was. Yeah, I mean, you look at the roster up and down and what the talent, that talent was drained off of that from 2000 to 2001. You had old Donnell Bennett. When they had to go out, who else they had to go out and get? They had to go out and get what's the Metcalf? They had to go get Eric Metcalf's old butt. They had
I
Michael Bates returning
Stoudemire,
kick.
what
They
is it?
had
Silverfield, Dana Stubblefield,
they had
Andrew
Daniel
Wilson.
Stubblefield, Big Daddy Wilkinson. I mean, they were like these guys were
Oh,
old. I mean, LeVar Arrington
oh,
was young. What they said Sam Shade on the team, didn't they?
yes.
Like, bro,
Daryl Woods. I mean, Daryl Woodson. Daryl Green was still on the
yeah,
team. It was old.
yeah, they were old, man. Tony Banks. They were winning games with Tony Banks and Kent Graham. That nobody knows who they are unless you know who the Redskins are. You don't know that. I remember when they had they had this circular change pretty much down the stretch. If Tony wasn't playing, Kent would come in and clean it up and win games. Remember in
Yeah,
Denver, it was snowing, ice all over the place. The end of the season against Arizona, it was rainy and piss pouring. He came in, cleaned it up.
the closer mentality.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild just to think. And this team was 8-8. That team should have been like 5-11, 4-12. They were awful, but they still had a lot of those people. And this is why in the Spurrier years, they had those guys. That's why they were 7-9 that year, because they still had that mentality and they were good at that early part of the season. And then
Yes.
they tailed off. It's the same thing. It's the transit of poverty. It's the same thing from Gibbs to Zorn. Why were they so good? They were still in that Gibbs mentality for the first 8 games of the season. But
Yeah.
then after that 8 games, they fell off.
Wow.
It's not strange. If you go back and look at it, it's not strange. It makes sense that this stuff happens. It happens for a reason.
And we played like that all the way up until last year.
Yep.
We were competitive as hell in games until they held up them 4 fingers. And then all hell broke loose. I'm like, it wasn't hell to the Redskins in the fourth quarter. It was hell with the Redskins in the fourth quarter. Because it was like our defense was shot. They was tired as shit. The offense wasn't doing nothing but throwing 10-yard passes and could nobody get free. And then when they did get free, somebody was going to do a random fucking fumble and just ruin everything. And I'm not trying to hit on AP, but you know, just like I know, you can count AP gonna get a random ass fumble somewhere when he don't need to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Oh yeah.
And so when you look at the Redskins, like I look at the Redskins, and like you look at the Redskins, and like Skins fan looks at them, and Big Simple looks at them, and Dubs fan, I love the camaraderie that we have because we are not pessimistic fans.
No. Realist.
We're realists.
That's what it is.
Look, we fucking suck.
Yeah.
And just to be honest with you, we suck and we got talent. How in the hell does that happen?
Leadership.
Thank you.
Leadership.
I know what point I wanted to bring through to you too. I mean to get off of this. Let's go back to this Chase Young situation. Now everybody's talking about, man, they gonna double team Chase Young, they gonna triple team Chase Young, they gonna do all this shit to Chase Young, and because he's just that kind of player. No, then the hell they are not. He is a defensive end. I want you to listen to me. If they chip, they're gonna chip him. They're gonna play a tight end over him. They might do it that way. But know this. When you establish a pocket, what is the one point that you don't want to crumble first? Think about it.
You don't want your tag? I don't want my bookends to crumble.
That's going to fall anyway.
Right.
Because you can, when you form the pocket, you need the quarterback to do what? Step up into the pocket.
Right.
You don't want the guard, center, and tackle to crumble.
Right.
Because then there's no place for the quarterback to step up. Yes, we want them to come around on the ends. We do. And even a good tackle will tell you that you step out, and if you're going to give the game away, you just don't let him cut across your face. As long as you can keep him on the outside of you, you can
Yeah.
pretty much motion where he goes. Just don't let him cut across your face. Now, on the inside, though, if you freak around and you let Ionitis, Allen,
Yeah.
Subtle, Payne get loose,
Oh yeah.
what the hell you
It's
gonna step up into?
it's trouble. It's trouble. You ain't gonna go nowhere.
You gonna step into a nightmare. And look, I would much rather get hit by 265 pounds on one side, 230 so I mean 230, 240 something on the other side. I'd much rather get hit by that than to step up and let big ass Tim Subtle meet me and greet me.
Oh yeah.
I would,
You right.
man, shoot. They ain't worried about Chase Young. What they worried about, this is what they worried about. Oh, damn. We can't leave a running back to cover the
Mhm.
quarterback anymore because we got to chip Chase Young. We got to chip Montez Sweat. We may have to do those things, but we damn sure got to double team Allen. We damn sure need to double team Payne and pray that a linebacker don't come in on a blitz.
And going back to that, it's the same reason why I'm not afraid of the Sadiq Charles
Ooh,
situation, because it's two things. They have the right people to work with them. Jack Del Rio is going to work with Chase Young. Now, if it was Greg Minuska coming in here, I would have a whole lot more uncertainty about that. But now we have a man who knows what he's doing. We've got two guys who've been proven defense coordinators. You got your head coach who helped build that Bears defense with Lovie Smith that got to the Super Bowl, and you got Jack Del Rio who's rebuilt defenses when he was in Carolina, when he was in Jacksonville, when he was in Denver, and he turned Von Miller into this threat. Granted, Von Miller's more of a linebacker,
yes.
but I have more faith that he's going to pan out with that potential. And it's the same, like I said, Sadiq Charles, just transfer property right here. If Jay Gruden was the head coach of this team and we drafted Sadiq Charles, I would have, I would be concerned. I would really be concerned. But now with Ron Rivera, I'm not concerned about that because he's going to take that dude and he's going to take, we ain't going to put up with this crap. So I said, kind of going off on that, but it's the same thing. We got competent people who know what they're doing. That's the thing. You've got the we might have the Titanic right now, but I think we got the captain that's going to steer us away from the iceberg instead of hitting it.
I hate hitting buttons. I'm
You
hitting,
put me on the spot.
I'm hitting buttons, man, trying to check this phone call, man. Yeah, we need. Big Simple said we needed a tough coach, and that's a fact. What we really need, I won't even say we need a tough coach because that's a little bit harsh. What we need is consistency. We need somebody who's going to play. Every rule is fair. Everybody is judged on the same merit. Um, you are not judged because I like you. Because let's
Mhm.
just be honest, Trey Quinn wouldn't have made any other fucking roster except
No.
ours. I mean, let's just be honest. Cam Sims would have probably been gone a lot sooner than what he is. And I honestly believe that these are going to be some of these pack your bag days in Redskins Park. That a lot of our players are going to have to either what I say shit or get off the pot.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not trying to sound bad, but it's just the truth. We are looking for a consistent unit who is going to buy in to the culture. We're
Hmm.
gonna do something like like New England, but with a more approachable coach.
Yep.
Belichick ain't approachable. So we're gonna build a culture that I think. Oh yeah, we're gonna build a culture that I think is gonna be great. And I wanted to tell you something too.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Khalid Hudson,
Hudson, yeah, yeah.
I want you to look at something. I know
Go
you
ahead.
got a stat line, right?
Yeah, oh, I got him. I got him right here.
Okay, tell me the stat line real quick, and I'm gonna tell you what he's gonna end up doing. I just got
So
this weird feeling.
I got a So the biggest thing I said about him was he had 7 block punts
Mm-hmm.
on at Michigan. So good special teams. 2017, he had 8 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, and he can play almost anywhere, and from the linebacker spot to the secondary.
Check this out.
Go ahead.
I watched his film.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his sacks, he was on the edge.
Yeah, he does play edge rush. Yep.
Now I want you to think about what scheme we're running.
Yep.
We're running a 4-3 under.
Right.
Where does the Sam linebacker sit?
They sit
Oh,
on
no.
that on the outside. Yeah.
And he's fast as hell. So can you just imagine? This is why I'm telling people you ain't gonna be able to double team Chase Young like they saying.
Mm-hmm.
We needed speed. We got faster. The boy can straight up play. He's he's got some work that needs to be done, but I honestly feel like from the looks of him, he's gonna be a Sam. And I honestly think he's gonna be a damn good Sam linebacker. Matter of fact, I think he's gonna end up being a broke man's Von Miller.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna put that out there today, and I want y'all to hold me to it. I'm sure Big Simple gonna hold me to it, and I damn sure know Skins is gonna hold me to it. So I want y'all to put this out there. Mark your words on 4/27 of 2020. I'm telling you that boy is gonna be a broke man's Von Miller. If you go back and just watch his film and watch how he gets around that edge
Mm-hmm.
and how he leans into that edge, and then go look at Von Miller's film when he first came out of A&M, and tell me if you don't see similarities in that boy's game. And a lot of people are like, why did we get him? Because you don't know football.
Oh yeah.
Them dang scouts, man, I'm telling you, they make a pretty good penny sitting up there keeping notes. And if a joker make it onto the team or a joker gets picked, he didn't get picked just because.
There's a reason behind it. There's a lot of research that went up into it. So
Yeah, it wasn't no random pick.
no.
And what they think, this is what kills me. This is what they think. They set the board, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
think it's just one person in each slot. No.
Nope.
When they set their boards, there are several people in each slot. And if they do this, we'll take this player. If they do that, we'll take this player. But they already know what players they want on their damn team
Yeah.
from the word go. That's why that's why Scott Turner was sitting there bouncing around like a sissy with a bag full of penises. He was when Gibson showed up, he was like, man,
Yes.
yes, bitch, yes. That fucking saw boy up on that man. That joke, yes, bitch, yes.
Shoot. He's sitting up there. He's sitting high on the hog after this draft, Scott Turner.
Okay.
He's like, ooh. He's like, Daddy bought me all these toys.
Ooh, daddy. Ooh, daddy. That joker, man, he was like, yes, bitch. Because you know dang well we could have probably got him in the 4th or 5th round.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no, I mean, well, we took him in the 3rd, but we could have got him in the late 3rd, early 4th round. Big Simple up there crying. I told you we lit in this damn place. If you guys don't come in, go somewhere else. But I'm telling you, man, that Joker was sitting up there just as happy as hell. When he saw that Joker in the third round, he was like, yes, yes, bitch. I bet you Ron was like, go ahead and pick him shit. So Scott can sit the fuck down. He was just twitching. He on the screen twitching and shit. Walking around there with a prom dress on.
Like Tyrone Biggums. He's like, hey man, he's like, I get another rock. I get another rock.
That Joker said, hey, Takesha, help me go down on these elk penises.
Oh, Tyrita, I got it. I got it. Woo! Redskin football, it give you wings.
Look. Man, Scott was probably giggling.
I mean, do you blame him though? Like,
No.
do you blame him? No.
He's still here.
Shoot, man. I'm like, dude, this offense is going to be if we can get Dwayne right, this offense is going to be dangerous.
I'm gonna tell you something. I want you to think back.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to just let go and relax. And I want you to think back. Think back to Teddy Bridgewater's first year with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're gonna see.
He's gonna take the move in the next season.
You are going to see him throw short, intermediate passes for most of the time. Then he's going to take long strikes downfield. They're going to wear out the center of a defense. They're going to run straight. Think about it. What was AP doing when he was over there with the Vikings? When Scott
boom,
straight down the fucking gonna run the ball down their throat, weaken up that middle.
Yep.
And then he gonna take a step back, play action pass, and dump one down the field long and hit and score. They are going to embarrass some folks. I tell you that I promise you today. What's the day?
27.
That Dwayne Haskins, we ain't gonna have no conversations about Dwayne no more. I don't know why y'all Dwayne Haskins, he's just not good. Joker. No, your coaching staff isn't good. Quit blaming the player. Blame the Joker who's supposed to be coaching this dude up. Because they getting the same amount of money as these players are getting.
You know what they said, since you brought this up, I thought it was funny. They talked about I can't remember who it was from. They said, man, this Ron Rivera press conference is boring. I sure do miss Jay Gruden. I'm like, you see the difference right there? You just pointed out the difference. You just pointed out the difference in the two men. This dude actually takes this seriously. Yes. He takes accountability seriously. He's not going to flake off. He's not looking for sound bites. He does his thing, and he is like he's genuine and authentic. That is him. I feel like, yeah.
That's because he ain't nobody's brother.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nobody's brother. He earned everything he got on his own merit. And when he was a player, and he said, "Look, my days of playing is over. Coach, I need you to come and teach me what I need to do because I think I'm going to be a good coach." And those coaches took him up under his wing and taught that man.
Right.
Not only the X's and O's, but how to be a leader.
Yep.
He ain't got no punks as coaches that he sat up under.
What, Mike Ditka? He was under there for a little bit. Where that's who he played for, and then you had Andy Reid. He learned a little bit from Norv. Norv was a little soft, but I think
Norv is a gentle. Norv is gentle, but don't think he don't fire folks.
Oh, I know. Oh, I got that. Oh, I understand that. And then who else was he? He was under Lovey.
Lovey Smith.
Yeah, so I mean, you think about it, he should have had a job after they went to the Super Bowl in '06, and he had to wait another 4 years. And then look what he did. He turned that team around. He's done more with less. You think about it. How many 7-8-1 teams go to the play, win the division, and go to the playoffs? Not many. Ron Rivera got them in. Ron Rivera does enough to get his fellas going. 15-1. You just don't back into a 15-1 season.
Right.
There got to be there. And who was his coordinators? Was it Mike Shula was one of them?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't even remember who's the defensive
I
coordinator.
don't even know.
You don't know, but they were 15-1. When the
And,
Steelers went 15-1, you know who the defense coordinator was. It was Dick
mm-hmm.
LeBeau. And
That's
then
right.
that's how Wisenhunt got a job.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't win a Super Bowl. And then, Chicago, when they were 15-1, who was it? Buddy Ryan. Buddy
Yep.
Ryan's defense. And then they left Mike Ditka left that offense to him and let him do his thing on offense, and Buddy Ryan had the defense.
That's right.
So, he gets more out of anything. The man is an orange juicer. He will get I'm gonna start calling him Jack LaLanne. That's exactly what I'm gonna start calling him, because he's a juicer. He is the juice man. I started last night. I got back and I watched it before, but I wanted to rewatch it just because this Ron Rivera. I started watching that All or Nothing with the Carolina Panthers, and just how he does. I'm sitting there listening to what he's talking about. He talks about stuff. Why do we always take the easy way out? Sometimes we got to go the hard route and not stick with stuff that's comfortable and easy to us. Like that, it's simple, but that is like the most deafening leadership quality that you can have, is pointing people into the right direction, getting their mind right. Like I said, rent space up here in the penthouse. And when you got that, you can do some dangerous things.
You know what made me really respect Ron Rivera? That game when Devin Funchess went back to Detroit and he had the worst possible game you can have, and he gave him the game ball. That's a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You stunk up the whole Silverdome. You did. But guess what? Here's the game ball.
Mm-hmm.
Because you made it through this week.
Yep.
Now get better. Build on this. Because you can't go no lower. Devin Funchess dropped everything except his pants in that game. That's coaching, bro.
Yeah.
And what we have to realize as fans is that we don't have the I won't say we don't have the love for the game. I can't say that. But we don't have the experience that these coaches have with dealing with these players in and out and getting to know them and to know their quirks.
Right.
A lot of people talk bad about Cam Newton, and they talk about how kind of polarizing of a guy that he is and how flamboyant he can be. But
sounds familiar.
But the fact of the matter is, when it's all said and done, his coach had his back and allowed him to be himself throughout the whole process.
Right.
And because he did this, it made Cam a better player. It made him a better leader. And if you didn't see nothing about anything in that All or Nothing, you see Cam Newton really was a leader in that locker room. He wasn't just there. He was sitting there. He was, everything that the media put out about him, they had to squash, because he sat there with Kyle Allen and was like, look, this is what's going on. You see this during the film study. He didn't have to do that. Hell, Brett Favre didn't even do that with
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers. He was like, you here learning on your own.
And he took time to coach the tight end. I'm on the second episode right now. He took time to coach the tight end who replaced Greg Olson.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, you look at it, and he always he's got their back. And I say, people, we look for a coach. What is a coach? A coach is a guy who's getting the guys out there on the day and in the practice, right? I don't want a coach. I want a leader. I want a leader first, then the coach second, who can put it together. That's what Ron Rivera does. He cares about them. He cares about them brothers outside of the game of football, and
Yes.
that's where fans have the issue. That's where fans don't understand that. But if you take it and you liken it to your job and how you feel, you got to think about it. These people are employees too, who are
Yes.
working for a boss as well. Like, and if you practically put that in, like I said, I teach a class a night every week. Once a week, I teach a class, and I care about those kids more or less outside of the classroom than I do inside of it, because I want them to be better citizens going out.
Yes.
Like that's what I want them to realize. And I mean, that's why I'm so fascinated. And that's why I love Ron Rivera from the jump. I said in December when they fired him, I said, I don't even care. Redskins need to get it. Because David Tepper wanted him out at the end of his first season there.
Yes.
But he couldn't justify it because he's popular in the area. He has the possibility to go par with Joe Gibbs in Redskins history. He has the possibility of doing. He has the potential to be like, nobody ever passed Joe Gibbs. That's just not gonna happen. No. But in the current memories of people like me who've been watching the team in the 90s and stuff, he will supersede anything if he's given the right tool, because he's that high quality of a person. Like I mean, I can't. And people might say, "Oh, well, you just saying." I love this cat. Like, there is something about him that what he puts on social media or what he does in the locker room when he's mad and happy. Like, dude, that I'm like, I want to work for this guy.
Yes,
I do. Like, it's just, I'm sorry to go on a tangent on that, but I just like, it blows my mind, man. How don't mess this up, Dan Snyder. You can mess up anything you want to in life. Go ahead, go lose Johnny Rockets or whatever you do, but do not F with this cat. Don't do it. Don't piss him off. Because if you do, the Redskins, if he messes this up, the Redskins will never recover from this.
Right.
They will never, under his regime, they will never recover from this.
He would be better off just selling the team if he lets this happen. If he screws this up, he would be better off just selling the team. And I hate to mention this, but me being a little bit older than you, I remember when Bruce Allen was our coach.
Oh, when George was? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, George Allen was our coach. So, I remember when Gibbs got hired as our head coach. I remember the days of the Fun Bunch and the Smurfs. I remember when Riggins was a drunk. I remember when we got Riggins from
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me he's still not drunk?
Man, I remember, man. I look at our team and I look at the history of our team and I look at what we're going into this season and with the draft picks that we've picked up and the personalities that we've gotten in our locker room. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited. Excuse me, I'm really excited because I watched that Jonathan Allen video. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Allen said, man, damn this COVID-19, dude. As soon as we got Trent, as soon as we got Chase Young, I called him over to the house, and
There you go.
Ioannidis came by, and we sat down and we talked to this brother. We didn't talk to him about X's and O's. We just wanted to know who he was.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you build a franchise. You've got these, and I also listened to Adrian Peterson. And most people in there, Adrian Peterson, I could probably play 4 or 5 more years. I feel like I could play 4 or 5 more years. But bringing this guy Gibson into the running back room, he said, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You
They're gonna
know,
keep him fresh.
thank you.
It's gonna keep him fresh.
Look, he's not looking for 20 carries a game no more.
No.
Get him 10, 15 carries a game, get him lathered up or slathered up. And even if you got to bring him in the first quarter, let him rest, let these youngsters play, then bring him back in the third quarter, and then let these youngsters play, keep them fresh. Let them get 50, 60, 70 yards a game. Because I look at it like this: if we keep them around, we can get them past them.
Oh yeah.
And that's our goal. Our goal not only to win Super Bowls, to win games, but we need to get Adrian Peterson past Emmett. I mean, that's my frat brother, and I love Emmett, man. I got an opportunity to meet him. We Sigmas to our heart, but I damn sure want Adrian Peterson to leave out there with that weapon as a Redskin.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, I'm so excited right now. I'm over there with Scott Turner. I just ain't picked out a dress to wear because I ain't gonna put one on. But I'm excited about what this team has to offer. I can't wait, and I hope Skins fan is so wrong about us not having a season this year.
Yeah.
Because baby boy, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait to get in those
Oh,
stages.
me too, man. Me too, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to. I mean, I really am. I say I don't think I have this quiet optimism about it. Like I know, like we ain't gonna, like you ain't gonna win every game, but I legitimately say, and I said at the beginning, I think this team can win baseline at least 4 more games than what they did a year before. That puts you at 7. Now, 9 times out of 10, you can luck up into 2 or 3 games a victory. You can luck up into them. So what does that put you at? That puts you at 10. So that's 10-6 right there. So if you luck up and you improve by 4, at least that you go out and dominate people. Cause I'll be honest with you, look at the schedule. Redskins can take advantage of some team. They can take advantage of the Rams. They can take advantage of the Cardinals. San Francisco, maybe not. That might be iffy because that's in their house.
But what did they lose?
True.
See, we got to look at that. We got to go back and think about what did San Francisco lose? Because Jimmy G was never the catalyst behind that team.
They just lost Breida.
Yeah, they lost Breida. They lost Samuel. Not Samuel, but Sanders.
Yeah, Manuel. They sure did.
And so, it's going to change the dynamic of that team. And even though they picked up Trent, he's new. They're going to lose Stanley this year because he's going to retire. So, they're not going to be the same team. And I honestly believe I was watching one of them highlight films on Jonathan Allen and him and DeJuan Payne playing next to each other. That's the that's the ugliest crap I have ever seen in my life. And if you can imagine them going straight downhill, not having to hold up the lineman and pick a gap, they just shooting their gaps.
Oh yeah. There you go. There's no pocket. There's no pocket for you, Dak. There's no pocket for you, Carson Wentz. And that's another thing. You got to bring it up. Carson Wentz is on notice. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, he's on notice.
He's on notice. You don't draft a quarterback of that caliber that high and not trying to put. Somebody said that, oh, they want to do a Taysom Hill type thing. He ain't Taysom Hill.
No.
He don't. The reason why he went to Oklahoma, he didn't want to be second fiddle to nobody. He's coming in there to try to win a job.
What did they say? Jalen hurt and always hurt.
Yeah.
That's
gonna be here.
Carson,
like, you don't know. Like, and I mean, I'm glad the Eagles did it, because now they up in Carson Wentz's head.
Mm-hmm.
They up in Carson Wentz's head. Now he gonna think every time he drop back. He gonna think about how he throw the ball, because he does not have. It's the same thing with Kirk Cousins. I hate to bring. I'm sorry I brought him up, but when RG3 was out of the picture, there was a difference between 14, 15 Kirk Cousins, because he knew he did not have to play in front of anybody.
Right.
Nobody was in his back ear. Robert was gone. That's why he played better. He didn't have anybody back there. Footsteps are a wondrous thing. And when you hear, when you looking back, like, you like, I better not mess up. You get a little tighter. And I mean, so I mean, you think about that. That is, you know, Dak's on notice too. Danny Jones. Come on, man. I mean, Danny Jones was good. All right. Who did he beat this year? He beat us twice.
Right.
And then you figure out the other three and beat Tampa Bay. And that, I mean, who else did he beat? They ain't beat nobody. They ain't beat nobody in division worth a damn.
And I honestly think that the Giants I think there's gonna be a big swing. Because you think of the defense that they're going to now.
They're going to 3-4, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. We'll run all day on a 3-4.
Oh yeah. They don't got the. They like us when we went to 3-4. They got 4-3 guys running a 3-4. And the Redskins never got. You and I talked about this before. They never got out of that mentality of drafting defensive end 4-3 defensive ends to play outside linebacker in a 34. It's the strangest thing that they never did it. The only time they actually, who was the only linebacker that really had could have played that was two of them, and that was at the beginning. Andre Carter, and then you had Brian Orakpo.
And he stayed hurt.
Yeah. So
we'll see,
man.
Bro,
shoot.
I'm gonna get off this broadcast because I'm not even gonna tell you why. But
well,
so I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I want to thank everybody for joining us for another episode of HTTR Behind Enemy Lines. Y'all be sure to click on these likes and the notifications and the share buttons so that we can get our get this broadcast out. Also, I want to give thanks to my buddy and my boy Sanchez, or you know him better as On the Warpath. Please go to his page. If you're not already a member, click in, subscribe to this brother. He is very knowledgeable, as you can see, and he will definitely, if he don't have you laughing, he'll damn sure have you informed. I'm kind of mad that Big Simple didn't come in and make me think he at work or he in his feelings. And either way, I'll catch you on the next one. And I want to thank all of the people that came in and clicked in. Natural, you know, you my girl, 100. You're going to have to help me get this hair straight once I get it ready. And Skins fan all day, thank you for pushing me, man, to do this. And I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I make you proud, and I make the other people in the Redskin group, our group, proud as well. Once again, I'm going to tell y'all good night, and hail to the Washington Redskins. Peace.
See you, man.
Later. Thanks, bro.
Oh, anytime.